Yo, welcome to another episode of the BJJ Goons Podcast. I'm your host, Tim, the Mushmaster Spriggs, and with me, as always, every week is.
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's No Nico, Nico Ball. Glad to be back for another episode of the best BJJ podcast ever. And I'm actually today, I'm filming from one of the first social projects I've ever worked in. So it's really dope to be able to do this kind of remotely from everywhere. So, what's up, Tim? How's it? How's our things over in the U.S.?
Things in the US are going wonderfully. I took a lot of time to organize everything. I kind of have three jobs. I got the podcast, I got my grappling career, um, and I got professional wrestling. Just yesterday, I had a lot of matches, like a lot. It was like all day of me doing wrestling matches in front of people. It was very insane. I'm not going to talk about that too thoroughly here. Just know, everybody, that your boy is doing big things. As far as jiu-jitsu is concerned, I'm setting up my training camp for a potential match in March, a really big match. It's going to give me a lot of money.
Oh, come on. Stop saying like a really big match. This better be against Gordon Ryan. It better be the match against Gordon Ryan. like,
I mean, there's a couple matches on the table right now, but I plan on competing in March of next year. And then after that, summer. And then hopefully I get that ADCC invite.
oh,
Um,
you're looking for that invite. You heard what
I'm
Mo
looking
was
for that
saying
invite.
about, people expecting their invites, but you have been a little bit busy, right?
Yes, I have been pretty busy on the mats, unexpectedly. And we're going to see what happens. I'm setting up a training camp for anything that's possible coming up in March. Uh, I've been trying to think about producing more merchandise. Like I want to bring back the Mushmaster T-shirts. Those were hot sellers, and I was selling them at the trunk of the car at the time. Since I'm number one in the world, I think we can do rapid expansion. And I forgot to ask you earlier about the updates about our little collab, our top secret collab with March, with a very important grappling company. That's on the horizon too. And then, of course, we got our own BJJ Goons personal merch, uh, you know, that we talked to a very nice artist about that's on the horizon too. So I've just been trying to organize everything, get my ducks in a row since you left, because the last 2 months have been so filled with events and everything else. That's what's up with me. But I mean, the real question is what's going on with you, world traveler? I want to be the first on wax to congratulate you on getting your purple belt. How's
Thank
it feel?
I mean, it feels great finally, I guess. And it's funny to see all the comments, because I remember it's been a while since I've competed. So it must have been like a year and a half ago. I was in New York competing and stepped on the mats. And like a ref that I didn't even know looked at me and he was like, "You're still a blue belt?" And I was like, "Who are you?" Like, yes, I am. So it's just been like a whole saga. I've been in blue belt for maybe like 6 or 7 years actually. And for somebody that trains like almost every day and competes as much as I do, that can, I guess, kind of be disheartening. But at the same time, I've gotten to the point where it's like it is what it is. Like I'm very happy to have gotten my belt here in Rio from like Terere Kids Project. I wish Terere could have been there, but he was not. I did actually um get to see him though, which was amazing. He kind of just like popped up. I came to the project one day and so he was like, "Yo, I heard Tellery's in the favela," and it was like, "What?" And it was like right before training. I did get to train like 2 or 3 times here, and then the day I got my belt, like somebody pulled my leg, and then I was in a lot of pain, so I haven't put on a gi since I got my purple belt. But like it was just really dope to have been able to see Ted today before that. And it's like because we all knew he was here, and I was like, "Oh wait, are we supposed to stay here for this class, right?" Like, or are we all running up to the favela to try to see him? But he actually ended up coming down. Um, to the academy. So I was rolling with his cousin Fabricio, who's actually the head of the project, and then he just walks in, and I'm blind. Without my I'm a hot mess, y'all. I'm a hot mess. I've been a blue belt for 6 years. I only got one eye. For those of you that don't know, like I had a detached retina 2 times and a cataract in one eye, so I can only actually technically see out of one eye. And now with this last surgery, like I only got one leg. So it's like Teddy walked in. I was like, that's him. That's him. So it was just really dope to be able to give my brother a hug, since it's been like 3 or 4 years maybe since I've gotten to see him. And then, just having like the people that gave me my belt. I know like Master Lloyd probably a little bit like upset about it. We did talk about it and whatnot, but I've just done so much and seen I guess it's weird to say it from my end, getting the belt. It's like the people that gave me the belt, like we worked so hard together, like the first tournament that Terere Kids Project like sponsored to like leave Rio was with Moicano, who's now like a star, like although he didn't do too well in Worlds. We'll talk about that next episode. It was with Moicano's best friend Muleza, who kind of it wasn't a big competitor, and he had some like problems in his house, but like she just was really there for him. And then it was Fabricio, who is Terere's cousin. So like that was our first international trip to Brazilian nationals, and like Fabricio became a Brazilian national champion that year. And like I've just seen Nogueira grind out so hard. So it really did mean a lot to get the belt from somebody that like from people that, despite the fact that I haven't lived in this country for like I haven't lived here for 5 years. I haven't come back in
Mm.
3 years. To just really like solidify that. I guess a lot of people don't really know that I'm not a friend of the Terere blue belt. Did I tell that story here ever?
Maybe, but we've had well over 100 episodes, so you can give us a little
Mhm.
reminder.
Okay, well,
Uh,
so it's like, cause I was telling Master Lloyd too, and it's like cause Master Lloyd was like, it's a little weird, and it's like, yeah, it's like, I feel like I really just tied off some loose ends. It meant a lot to me to have that belt from the project, is cause when I was getting my blue belt, Terere actually offered me my blue belt. I was supposed to get my blue belt from Terere, but at this time, I was also training at Novo União, training MMA, and I only really trained like stand up at Novo União and no gi. I didn't train in a gi. Um, and Claudia Galdalia, it had been Claudia Galdalia that had told me, is like, don't take the belt from Today, because Dede Pedernales is gonna feel some kind of way about it. Like in hindsight, Dede didn't give a fuck about me, and I should have taken that blue belt. But like to not cause problems with Novo União is like, how are you?
mm,
You're training MMA. Um, but like get your belt from today. Well, because he's a fucking legend was the actual answer that I should have given him, and like because he cared about me when none of those motherfuckers did. Claudia did, so it's like that's why I was like, all right, it's your fault, but like I love you, and you had like a huge part in my role, so or my role as who I am, so that's cool. But like when Novo and y'all finally did get around to giving me my black belt, like there was like some contention there, because there was another black belt, Michelle Tavares, who I trained with. Like there's there's some kids there's a glass door at this project. Some kids looking in at us now, but you'll get some more behind the scene content on the Patreon or whatnot. I'll post more. But either way, so like when I finally did get my blue belt, it was like the one person, like, because that's the problem with Novo União, it's so big. Like I trained jujitsu with like 20 different teachers, and that's why like one of them was like, I'm not giving you your blue belt, you should have taken it from Ted. Right. So when I finally did get it, the ceremony was in Bope, which is like the police headquarters, and not just the normal police. It's the police that go in and kill the people in the favela. Like they're the murderers, definitely, like the calaveras, the skulls. So there's no fucking evidence of it, because that's the worst thing I ever could have done, was like take a picture of me at Bope. And like after I got my belt, which wasn't one I got to keep, they just fucking left me there. And it's like I had to find
whoa.
my way back home, like from Bope, which is in a weird place. So it's like when I say curate your community and choose your vibe, like and your tribe, like that's kind of really important. So it was just like a really shitty experience getting my blue belt. Yeah. So it's nice to have my purple belt from people that I just really love and care about, and then just like be able to move on, and just enjoy being a student of Master Lloyd, and knowing that like the same thing could possibly happen where I'll disappear off into Angola or something, and then come back to Maryland to claim that brown belt from Master Lloyd, hopefully not 7 years from now.
Yeah, hopefully not. 7 years is a long time.
Long fucking time, yo, long time.
At least you're not an eternal blue belt. There's a lot of people that get their blue belt and quit. And I
Yeah,
have to congratulate you because now that you have your purple belt, your chances of getting your black belt are statistically way higher. It's like a pyramid. At the bottom is white belt, blue belt, and then it gets progressively smaller until you get to the top, which is black belt. So
yeah,
man, that's really awesome. And to get it from the people that your tribe is even better. It's even sweeter. And you're like you got it in the birthplace of jujitsu. So I mean, that's a really special thing.
yeah.
Were
I
you able to get all the? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
know what were you gonna say?
I was gonna ask you about those donations. The
Uh,
donation. Were you able to get a good amount of them to the favelas?
I was able to take 3 whole suitcases, which was a ton. Each one was weighing about 50 pounds. So I took
Mm,
extra small one, and I was able to like organize them too, which was dope. Because when I was originally gonna go in June, I was just like throwing shit in suitcases, and I was like, bah. So it's like I was
mm,
able to organize, and I got one suitcase full of extra smalls, one suitcase full of smalls. Medium was the size that I had the least of, so like it was kind of sprinkled in, and then one suitcase full of large. Most of them, it's all like no-gi training spats or compression shorts. There's a few tank tops and stuff sprinkled in there. So yeah, we were able to get a ton of stuff down here. We started distributing it out through the people in Terere Kids Project, was as our immediate project, but also now tomorrow I'm going to go back and start packing up some from some other projects. Like I have my partner that's here from Sao Paulo. He has his social project. I also work with Proyecto Stone, which is another female-led social project that's on the Ilha de Governador, which is kind of close to like the airport. It's a little further out of Zona Sul or the Rio that people normally know. And they have so many girls, so they're gonna get a portion of the donation as well. And it's just going to be really cool to see how many different projects on this trip with just these 3 suitcases that we're able to help out a little bit. I was also able to get 3 or 4 gis down here. So shout out to Angelica from 301 MMA. People ask me if I want gis all the time, and no, I never want the gis because they're too heavy and they're too hard to bring down here. But I was able to bring down 3. 2 of them I used for training because I only brought down like one of my gis because of this. So 2 of them I used kind of, and then like donated them off. And that was really cool because I was in the favela having dinner after training one day, and Fabricio just called some girl over and he's like, "Hey, you're not training because you don't have a gi, right?" And she's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "We'll just come by tomorrow in the morning and we got you one." So it was really dope to see like, you know, that immediate, like you can come back to training now, like you haven't been at the gym, like you come back now because we have that material. Just that, like that immediate impact, that immediate effect was just really amazing.
that is spectacular. It's interesting how you're going there is helping so many people. Just the act of traveling. It took a lot of work on the back end for you to get here and a lot of waiting, but you going there makes an immediate impact on someone's life, for so many people's lives. And I think we need more of that in the community. We need to be able to spread, uh, we got to be able to like supply people with the ability to train. I was talking with someone earlier about sports and like hockey, right? Hockey is super freaking expensive, you know, and it's really expensive because I played it. Like all the equipment that you need, traveling, like if you're on a travel team, there's a margin of entry. Like there's a barrier to entry financially to do these certain sports. And I think that's why there's not as much diversity in certain sports because there's such a barrier of entry financially and sometimes socially. In the case of jiu-jitsu, both. And you being able to do that, that small little thing of you just giving someone a gi, it's going to benefit their lives in the long term. What jiu-jitsu is an art. And if you're able to spread it around, it's going to be beneficial. Like imagine if there was a barrier to entry for music. If people of a certain socioeconomic status weren't able to play music or sing or do something, there'd be so many people that we'd be missing out on, so many great artists, so many people that would have been lost without it. So man, I got to commend you on that. Yeah, that's awesome.
That's why we're always talking about, the importance of like after school programs, because you mentioned music, and I think like barriers are being put up even for music, like they're cutting all the programs, like you're not getting
Mm,
that kind of stuff in school. So it really is important. Like people think like donations and like helping people is like easy, and I don't think it is in the least bit. Like that, like this is it has been a very hard process for me, and it has been like kind of hellish. It's just like even having the boxes in your house, still having boxes in my house, like me having needing suitcases, and then just the logistics of it. Like there's a lot of people that are willing to give, but there's not a lot of people willing to receive and do the work to make sure that what is given is properly allocated. So just shout out to everybody that is out there doing the work. I know a lot of our listeners do a lot of great things in the community, and they make it look easy, but it fucking isn't. Like it's very easy to be like, yo, I got like 5 A3 geese. Can I just drop them off with you? And it's like, thanks. Like, but and like that is good. We do need people to give, but like there's just like being part of a movement is a little bit more. So like just a shout out to all the people that I see that are really doing stuff, from like Focus Brand International, who was always posting like no stat stories, and he's out there like doing and producing his own stuff. Like those things are not really easy in the least bit. Even working with kids like Master Donnie, all them kids. Oof.
yeah, right.
I mean,
That's
and they
hard as
still
hell.
show up, and we're still a headache for him sleeping on his couch.
Yeah, it's like you gotta make a project just about donation. Like you might have to have a whole donation project and process to get stuff from here to Brazil in the future.
Hmm.
That was only like a small fraction of what you had, right? You still have a shitload of boxes at the crib.
I do. And like logistically I fucked up too. Like there are so many fucking Brazilians in Worlds right now. Had I taken them all to Worlds, I probably could have gotten a lot of it back. Or, just even given it to the people from the city of God. Like some of the donations will go out there and they're all over here. Like I mentioned it to Fabio Andrade too, who is Marcio Andre's coach, and he has a social project in Bangu. I was like, oh, I'm finally coming to Brazil. And I told him the dates, and he's like, during Worlds?
Oh man, I
Uh,
did not think about that. I did not think about that logistically. You got a point.
Me neither, because I've been missing fights too. Like I told you, like because I've been flying around too. So I was in Sao Paulo. The day I was coming back from Sao Paulo was the brown belt
Mm.
and Hockey was fighting. And then me and Hockey might be getting married again. You know how it is. I like to be people don't know how it is. One of our followers was like, wait, engaged? I never knew you were in love. It's like, yeah. You just scroll back in my page and you'll see pictures of us. Um, but like the day he was fighting, I got to see his first fight, and then I had to catch a plane to come back to Rio. And then like I landed in Rio and saw that he won. And that was just really dope. There's like we're gonna talk about Worlds a little bit more, so I'm gonna try to like keep my excitement down about all of the people from the favela that are coming up. But go check out BJJ Korea, their Instagram. They're doing actually the best event coverage of Worlds. They're posting out all the brackets with pictures for people like me. She did this for me, who never knows who anybody is or what they look like, and I still get contracted to go take their pictures. So I'm trying to like find their Facebooks, be like, who is Dante Leon? So great coverage of Worlds. We're gonna go over it like next episode. But if you want to know what's going on, check out BJJ Korea. That's BJJ CRIA on Instagram.
Fantastic. Well, is there anything else about the trip you want to share? I'm intrigued. Maybe we
Yeah.
could save it for a Patreon episode. But
Mhm.
like anything else from the trip you want to talk about? You want to move on to something else?
I want to talk about one more thing that like happened. Oh, don't mess me up, internet. You still okay? I saw something. Sorry, guys. I can't wait till we
You're
can get
still here.
quality. But yeah, I saw an unstable. I'm actually taking internet from the pharmacy that's next door, but it's surprisingly better. Like, first of all, 'cause I was staying at Rocky's house, like, which is dope. So Rocky won, and then I went to go stay at his house in Rio, which he doesn't even live in. but that's crazy. And then his internet kind of is shitty. So I had to leave so I can watch the rest of the fights from Worlds. And also because I wanted to see Pernina, who is his coach. But one thing that I wanted to bring up is like this whole Gracie thing, right? Because I feel like in the US, we align Gracies now with fascists and like a blanket, an outright blanket term. And I had a friend come and compete. Shout out to John Barry. He helped me with the donations. That's why he's here in Brazil. He's not only been doing that, but he's been helping me carry around all my shit since I'm still injured. But he competed at FJJ Rio in the Hoyles Gracie competition. And FJJ Rio, all of their competitions are like Helio Gracie Cup. You know, they're all named after Gracies because it is run by the Gracie family. It's run by Kenya Gracie, now a wonderful woman, mother of two children, does a lot of work. And this is actually it is the first Jiu-Jitsu federation. They had the first Jiu-Jitsu competitions. And it's just a little weird coming from America. I feel like because it seems like it's just like this outright hatred for Gracies. So I wanted to see like your opinion on the Gracies and the family and competitions like that. Or do you not have one? Is it competition just a competition to you?
I don't think, give me a second, let me say this as clearly as I can. I don't see a big deal with someone competing at a competition that's named after someone that you find despicable or that you don't agree with. Yes, you are financially supporting an endeavor ran by someone that may or may not be a fascist in this scenario that you bring up. But if I'm someone that is a positive person, or if I am doing an art and representing a cause by just being there, and if I'm representing a cause by winning, I think that does more good than harm. In the world we live in, unfortunately, it's run by terrible people. Even the flag that we bear, in some instances, things that are contrary to what's right. But I can't just boycott my life. No matter what you do, in a way, you're supporting a scumbag. Amazon treats people poorly. Am I going to stop ordering things from Amazon and make my life a hardship, by not supporting or not buying stuff through Amazon? No, I'm not. I can't make moral decisions in a situation like this because if I don't compete, I can't eat. Or in some instances, if I don't do my art, I am limiting my ability to be happy. If I know that, let's say, for instance, IBJJF, we know that some things they do we don't agree with, but if we stop doing IBJJF as a team, the kids coming up in the system lose, the adults lose out on opportunities to be a world champion and get high level competition. And in turn, you're screwing yourself financially because, quite frankly, if you don't do these big tournaments or if you don't dance with the devil at least a little bit in life, you'll never get ahead. There was times in music industry where you needed a major label. Even if you hated them or despised them, you had to play the game to get ahead and to win. That's my take. I don't see a problem with you competing or competing at these competitions. You have to dance with the devil to get ahead. And then by getting that experience, by getting ahead, by establishing yourself, then you can start to make changes and maybe have your own game going on.
Interesting point of view. I like it because like apparently Hobson's dream was to be able to like lower the barriers of jujitsu for people and offer like free competitions and things like that. And that's actually something the federation has been working on, I guess, and like having like a free competition from people that are exclusively from social projects. And so that
Mm-hmm.
Favela Jiu Jitsu obviously being like one of the biggest promoters of social projects and
Mm-hmm.
um, it's just interesting to see. So like I definitely got to sit down and have a conversation, not just with Kenya, who runs that federation, with La Nina, who is the head of Project Stone, and she also has a company here in Brazil. And it's just interesting to see like the things that people are trying to do for the sport. So hopefully coming out of the pandemic, we will be able to have like a huge competition that is free for all kids from social projects. We were talking about maybe doing something in like a partnership with this federation because
Mm.
and they could provide the place, which is a lot. Like when you think about it, like what you got to pay for, you got to pay for a venue, you got to pay for prizes, and then I don't even know what else, all the staff and everything like that. So the venue is one of the biggest things, and like this last tournament was in one of the Olympic arenas, which was really dope.
Hmm.
Far away, but it was really cool. So I don't know. I just find it interesting because this is not the first time I've had to sit down with a Gracie to have like a talk about something. The first time it didn't, nothing panned out, but it was interesting. Always open to see what people say. Again, it's always the girls. It's like I don't know about the guys. It's like girls seem to be doing a lot in the sport. It's like I need y'all to step up. Where your men at?
And one thing I would like to add, these people in the family, the Gracie family, they can't help what their ancestors did. We can't judge people by what someone in their family has done or their family name is associated with. Hell, we can't even judge people by their friends. In a lot of instances, if my friend does something fucked up, you're gonna judge me by that? Now, if it's habitual behavior, you could be like, you're kind of sus because if you hang with a rat, you're a rat too. But in the
Yep.
same token, you got to judge people by their actions, not so much about what you perceive them to be by the actions of others. But it's positive to see that they're doing this stuff for the favelas. I think a big thing with access is that people that have the access, they don't want more people to have access to what they have. And I believe that's what Ted Day was. I think that's what's so special about Ted Day is that he was a favela kid that found a way to get into essentially a rich kid's sport and become arguably the most influential guy, the guy that set a lot of modern jiu-jitsu into motion, maybe all of modern jiu-jitsu into motion. And what they're doing is beautiful. I want to see more people get opportunity because not only will it be able to uplift people, but it'll be able to make people that are already in this industry better. Imagine if we didn't have Ted Day. Jiu-jitsu would be nowhere near as far ahead as it is now.
That's very true. I mean, like he kicked down the door, as they say, and like he really, really opened the door for a lot of people, changed a lot of people's lives. And I think it's just important, whether it's a Gracie or whatever the name, it's like we need to hold people accountable. Definitely hold people accountable for their actions. It's like moving on to a different topic. I don't know how much time we have. We're kind of probably ending this soon. But I meant
Mhm.
meant to mention it last episode. I think I sent you the article. A friend from Alabama sent me an article about Michael Elliott, an Alabama Patriot Front member, neo-Nazi, and combat instructor. You remember that? It was
You
it
sent me the article, but we didn't talk about it on the pod. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I just want like because I want to break into that news and I want to say like shout out to my friend that sent this to me. He's done some private classes with this dude and he quit his gym and he's like I don't have any jujitsu now like because of this guy. And I know that there's maybe some other people in those situations. I'm people that aren't in jujitsu heavy areas like we are, and I just wanted to like I wanted to be make it known. It's like yeah, there are some assholes in the sport, and that we're here for you. Slap a slide onto that Patreon. Maybe we can give you a discount for some techniques or something like that. Cause this is really hard. Like, just like knowing that they felt bad themselves inherently having trained several times with this person. It's like you had no way to know like who he was or what happened. So I'll just basically give you some highlights. I know I'm kind of like we don't have an outline. Now I'm throwing this on Tim, and I just want to make people aware of this.
Let's
But
do it.
The Patriot Front is it is a white supremacist organization. Um, and it says, so Ian, he's got a lot of names, like he was like Hispanic or something. You racist fuck. Ian Michael Elliott of Harvest, Alabama, is a member of the racist and fascist organization Patriot Front, going by the alias Norman AL. So that's what he posts on in these groups, and they've been finding his pictures. And um he is highly active in martial arts. He trains at Triad Martial Arts in Huntsville, Alabama. So that will be the gym, Triad Martial Arts. Um, and he is also a concealed tactical and Krav Maga instructor in Madison, Alabama. He is part of the neo-Nazi Church of Arianity, which I did not know was a thing. And they kind of like mix Christianity and paganism and white supremacy all together in a
Whoa,
convoluted.
whoa, 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 whoa. You said you just gave me a word salad just now. So this guy, he is a part of a gym or he runs a gym, and he's in some weird white supremacist Christian cult.
Yeah, so okay, I don't think he owns the gym. He is an instructor at Triad Martial Arts in Huntsville. He
Okay,
also teaches at Concealed Tactical, which is a Krav Maga school. So
okay.
these are the two affiliations that he's in that you might run into him in the normal world. Outside the normal world, in the white supremacist world, he is part of the Patriot Front, which is one group. He's also part of the Church of Arianity, like Arianity, which
Mhm.
which is it's a white supremacist group that mixes like Christianity and paganism.
So they're like wannabe Vikings, basically. They got that connection between Vikings and the white supremacist thing. Because I noticed like white supremacist people have this whole thing with Viking shit and paganism shit. I see the overlap, but please continue.
All right. So he's been making posts saying that he enjoys traveling and training with white nationalists and offers his skills and expertise when he travels around to different places. Um and he's also known for like frequenting rallies and things like that. They post different he's posted pictures of himself on the podium at American Grappling Federation under the alias Norman GA. Um and He also is like posted pictures in Virginia, in Lynchburg, Virginia, with Paul Wagner of Operation Werewolf, a far right strength cult. Oh my God, it's just crazy. So, it's just interesting to see like their like Arianity. Here we go. What is it? Organized religion for white Aryans only, led by Aaron Chapman, aka Orion Sunfire, as well as being a Nazi cult leader. Chapman operates the Elite Tattoo Lounge in Madison, Kentucky. Yeah, so it's just interesting. Arianity tries to reconcile white supremacist versions of paganism and Christianity, claiming to be both pagan and Christian. For it reveals Christ as an Aryan pagan archetype and Christianity as a pagan Gnostic religion. Adherents consider whites or Western Aryans to be the only race that they can truly call human, and all other races portrayed as hybrids or subhumans. According to the Aryanity website, Western Aryans are distantly related to a lost Atlantean civilization. Man, I thought I did like a lot of crazy shit, like, smoking weed, talking like crazy favela shit. But people like this are just delusional. So like, thank you so much for bringing this to my attention. Like, I just want to like, put it out there for other people to realize like we need to police our community. We need to know these things. Like, yes, leave your gym, mention it, say something, and like go to a place where you feel more comfortable. Cause this shit is wild.
That man has quite the white supremacist resume. I think whoever started that religion and anyone that joins it is either idiots or has done a lot, and I mean a lot of drugs. A lot.
Normal drugs. We're not talking about like weed, mushrooms, acid, or coke. I don't feel like. I think you're on that next level, like meth.
Meth.
Uh,
Meth.
can we call ketamine? I don't know. I think that's a little weird. Yeah, you're like on that next level. It's like what
I
the
not
fuck?
even no, not even ketamine, bro. Like it's like they were huffing paint when they were a baby or something, like that kind of shit. But it's in Huntsville, Alabama, right? He instructs there, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
your friend is looking for a quality martial arts academy that teaches jujitsu,
That's
right?
on Zoom. I've seen Master Lloyd doing Zoom and FaceTime classes. I know you probably could too. I was like,
Well, I would like to give an extra special shout out to a school that a friend of mine instructs at. He's actually a member of Team Big Brother / Leo Dalla. The academy is called Arsenal Combat Sports Club. It's in Huntsville, Alabama. It teaches Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai kickboxing, and wrestling, and also self-defense. And they are a competition school. So even if you don't compete, you should go to a school that does compete because the level is going to be higher. They're located at 1808 Sportsman Lane Northwest, Huntsville, Alabama, 35816. It is a Black-owned gym. Yes, Black-owned. The guy has an excellent lineage. He has a brown belt under Leo Dalla. And if you don't know, Leo Dalla is the master of Master Lloyd. And our lineage, I say our because I'm a part of the Lloyd Irvin lineage, goes all the way back to Carlos Gracie. So make sure you check that out.
that's
Really check.
dope. Like I follow
Yeah.
them on Instagram. I know they follow me. I didn't know that they were where exactly they were, nor that they were part of Big Brother, which is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. The lineage is strong. Now, before we wrap, I just want to double check because there's always contention as to who gave who their belt. So I'm just going to look at our lineage one more time to make sure I'm not talking out of my ass. But yeah, make sure you just check out Arsenal Combat Sports Club. Please do. Yeah, we go all the way back to Carlos Gracie, Carlos to Elio to Hickson to George Pereira, the founder of Jungle Fight. George Pereira, that guy is hardcore. And of course, Leo Dalla. So you get your black belt from that school, you have a great lineage all the way back to the source. Like you said, you got to create your community. And if you know somebody that is doing God's work, if you know somebody that's being positive and actually knows what the fuck they're teaching, you got to shout them out. So shout out to Arsenal Combat Sports Club. Nico, anything you want to add on this episode?
No,
Because we
other
about
than
to
the
do some
fact,
Patreon stuff soon.
no. Well, Pedro Munoz had a great fight of the night. I don't think he won, but it was amazing. And we're gonna have to slide down not only to Miami to see him, but apparently now to Alabama. But other than that, y'all can follow me on Instagram at no new Nico. That's no underscore new underscore Nico. Easy to spell, basic. And make sure to stop by favelajujitsu.com. I'm back in the States next week. I should have some more merch coming out. It should be in the mail. Hopefully, no, it should have gotten there in the mail and been delivered to my house by a person. So yeah, make sure to stop by favelajujitsu.com. I know some of y'all seeing me with the jackets and stuff that I post in Brazil because I definitely have an exclusive line for the inner circle. I'll have some of that coming out to the public as well.
Before I leave, I just want to give a shout out to two very special sponsors. John's Fit Meals. Make sure you go to John's Fit Meals for handcrafted, handmade, like no refried bullshit, personal meals made for you. They're the best meal prep company in the business. They help me stay strong and in shape and make sure I eat quality food because I can't eat Mickey D's no more. I'm 31 years old. I got to eat right. I got to fuel this beast. And I use John's Fit Meals. Make sure you use promo code BJJ Goons for a very special discount. And also, make sure if you have any kind of website needs or internet marketing needs, you go to bluedgebusiness.com. Blue Edge Business is the guys that made my website, timspriggsbjj.com, and they can help you out too. Just tell them Tim Spriggs sent you for an even better discount. You guys can find me at timspriggsbjj.com. I teach private lessons, both in person and virtually. I give game plans and I do match critiques. And you can go to the book me for a seminar. Also, you can catch me on Facebook and Instagram at Tim Spriggs BJJ. Go to my Instagram, follow me, get post alerts or whatever the hell they call it. So every time I post, you can get an alert. and know what I'm doing. And also, you can complain to Instagram because I don't have my goddamn blue check mark. I got almost 20,000 followers. I'm the best grappler in the world. Where the fuck is my blue check? But folks, this has been the BJJ Goons podcast. On behalf of Nico and myself, I say have a great week. Stay safe, stay dangerous. Peace.